All right, let me take a look here. 7 o'clock on a Wednesday night. Let's give this a minute. Let's see if I get anybody to come in and join this evening. All right. Excuse me. Let's see if I can get through this without crying too much. But as always, let's start with our disclaimer that all of our meetings are an environment of education and awareness and not an open market for the sale, purchase, or distribution of cannabis. We do not encourage or condone illegal behavior of any kind. Oh, forgot to even turn it on. All right. Well, that's kind of our start. This is really difficult, folks, but I want to welcome you to, I believe, what is the last South Carolina NORML Cannabis conversation. Uh, um, it, it looks like the end is coming for South Carolina NORML. I got kind of notification of it a couple weeks ago with a letter from the Secretary of State of South Carolina telling us that a $2,000 fine has been imposed upon us for soliciting funds without being a properly registered organization. Now, this all has to do with tax filings, stuff like that. And I got to tell you, with the federal, it's easy. It was a 5-question, what they call the postcard. The state wants a full accounting, which is fine, but apparently ours did not get filed on time this year. And I missed a letter somewhere along the way, apparently informing me that there were fines pending if this was not done. Well, I missed that letter, and so the letter I did get was the letter telling me that the fines have been imposed, and that is basically a death knell for South Carolina NORML, primarily because this organization does not have $2,000. They have a portion of that. The rest of that will have to come out of my pocket personally, I'm assuming. And that's basically, it's just going to kill the organization. It's going to bankrupt us. We'll have no money to operate whatsoever. As I've mentioned on this program a number of times over the years, we don't deal in tens of or hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's, 2, 3, we may have hit as high as the upper threes, almost $4,000 a year. That almost all goes back into either our operating expenses or some of the things we give away, our brochures, our postcards to write to your legislators, stickers, things like that. We don't generally have a large budget to play with. And this is just devastating to me. But it's been 7 years. I founded this organization January 2017. Here we are at the end of 2023 almost. It's been 7 years. I don't feel I've gotten anywhere. My biggest anxiety with this organization is getting taxes filed and things like that taken care of with the government, so they wouldn't shut us down or do things like this. and I was happy as could be when we got treasurer on our board to handle that. And I don't know what happened this year, but it seems I caught it late in the game. The fine's already been imposed. It means not a lot of filing fees, but I've got days left to file for to contest the case, and then I have to travel to Colombia, apparently, to take care of it. I'm going to look into that a little bit more tomorrow, and contact a number that's here on the Secretary of State site to one of the General Counsel numbers. Joey's asking, why is this happening? I thought we were a 501c3. Actually, we're 501c4, slight difference. 501c4 allows more political activity. Our taxes weren't filed properly. Even if we do kind of turn it around, which is what it looks like our treasurer is trying to do right now, is turn it around and get these things filed. The fine's been imposed. And I've had to make a decision. Before the end of our fiscal year. Do I want to try to go another full fiscal year? Or is this just sort of a harbinger of time for me to kind of move on? Miggy, thank you so much. It's not an easy decision to make. I must admit, it's a question I've asked myself repeatedly over the years, kind of an annual event. Do I want to put another year into this? Do I want to put another fiscal year into this? Because if nothing else, starting another fiscal year means filing again with the state and the federal and doing all that paperwork crap. I thought I was kind of done with that. I don't want to have to take that responsibility onto myself. And so I'd rather leave it to just one final filing for 2023 after this 2022 filing gets hopefully handled. But beyond that, even if we get that resolved, I responded back, to our accountant earlier, to our treasurer earlier. I says, I've been at this 7 years. I really feel I failed to make any kind of change legislatively. I have failed to make any kind of change legislatively here in South Carolina. I don't really feel I've made a difference, and I'm tired. I'm tired. I don't think I have it in me anymore. So with that, I want to thank you all that have been joining me over the weeks and years. But I think it's time to wind it down and time to say goodnight. With that, before I break down, I want to thank you again, and y'all have a good night.